Okay, next we will see how a process can be described. Okay, is described by its inputs, outputs, and the techniques or tools. Okay, so the outputs may be some documents, some decisions, some deliverables. So some of my diagrams come from a book called Head First PMP. Okay, so I guess the author of that book tried to be funny to apply it to a cooking work. So in a way, the task of cooking can be considered as a project because you are doing some activities and you have an objective to achieve, and you have a start and you have an end. So that meets the criteria of being a project. And in this case, maybe you are baking cookies here. Making cookies, initially you have a mixing process. The mixing process would take some flours, milk, egg, and so on, and then mix them together. Mix them together, and your output will be of the mixing process will be used as the input to the cooking process. So after you make all the things together, the dough, you can make it, and you use, for example, here you will use a tray and also the cookie dough and put together, and you make it one like small pieces, and then the process would use an oven. You have to put it in the oven to make things work like that. So in a software projects or any other projects, you have up to 47 processes to work on, and how these processes would be related. Well, obviously, some would create some process would create output to be used as the input for another project, for another process. For example, like this in this cookie, so the dough 嗰啲即係嗰啲係咪麵粉團啊？即係猜咗之後嗰啲刀咧，咁一大劈咧，咁然之後咧，我哋就整咗一塊塊 ，OK， 咁然之後就放喺個 tray 嗰度，放喺個焗爐，開咗佢若干分鐘，若干度數，咁就變咗 cookie 啦 ，OK，so so one way to organize, to look at the processes is they belong to one of the 5 process groups. So each process can only belong to one process group, and they don't belong to 2 groups at the same time. Okay, and each process is described by input, output, and tools and techniques. But there's another way to look at processes is they can be grouped by knowledge areas. So there are 10 knowledge areas in total. But of course, these knowledge areas may be subject to update in future, because I think perhaps this one was introduced in version 5 of PMBOK. So PMBOK is a guide that is updated every 2 years or so. Okay, sometimes 1 year and a bit, sometimes 3 years. They get it may be updated constantly. Okay, to reflect the state of the art practices in project management. And so of these 10, let's look at the project integration management, which include 6 processes: develop project charter, develop project management plan, direct and manage project work, monitor and control project work, and so on. And can you see it? So we can look at, so this project integration management knowledge area has 6 processes, and develop project charter is one of them. It takes project statement of work, so it's a very short statement, a business case, okay, a business case is trying to justify the project, and some agreements between the customers and the paying customers and the developers, and enterprise environmental factors. This means some conditions inside the company, okay, that may affect the project. And so after doing something like this, some facilitation techniques, some expert judgment, we create a project charter. And the project charter could be used as the input for another process, which is to develop the project management plan. So, and then these will have the output of project management plan, which will be used in other processes. For example, the monitor and control project work use project management plan. The integrated change control also use it. So basically, the other 4 processes use that output from one of the processes. So we can see that processes are related to each other by the inputs and outputs. And to do each work, you need to perhaps master different tools and techniques. For example, here, for some of these tasks, requires meetings, okay? And perhaps to do change control, you need change control tools. And this is how the different, the develop project charter and develop project management plan, different processes are related. So, and then this one will sort of cycle between direct and managed project work, monitor and control project work, and then perform change and management, and then go back here. So this goes, after this looping for a while, then eventually we have completed the project, and then we'll go to the close project phase. So let's look at what a project charter looks like. It should have project purpose, success criteria, which is, you can think of it like the acceptance criteria of a user story. High-level requirements, assumption constraints, high-level risks, and so on. You can see them here. But the thing about project charter is that these information are not in the great details. Okay, for example, maybe if we look at a project management plan, okay, it has some similarities. You can see there's schedule, there's risk, there's critical success factor. You may see, well, there's also success criteria, high-level risk. Are they the same? Okay, is project charter same as project management plan? No, it's not. Because project management plan, this will be in great detail. For the risk portion, you may recall something that we have seen before. risk register example. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is a sample risk register. So going back to here, in our project management plan, the risk would have that level of detail. Okay, so we'll do some analysis to find out all of them, and then how to deal with each one. But in the project charter, high-level risk means we would just identify maybe one or two most high impact or possible risks. Okay, so we would not go into details of how to solve it. Okay, we won't study it so much. So we'll just name the risk. Unlike in here, the risk would actually produce something, a table like this, to show how likely it is, what is the impact, and what actions we can do. Okay, so this will be no? Okay, nobody. Okay, so any question? Yeah? Okay, no? Okay, so I guess we can finish it at this point and resume next week. Thank you. Oh no, the week after, because next week is a holiday.